Hi, I'm Adam Balkin, and welcome to It Ain't Rocket Science. It Ain't Rocket Science is part of Time Warner Cable's Connect a Million Minds initiative, geared towards getting some of our younger viewers to take an interest in science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM. Now, school may be out, but that doesn't mean the learning stops. Just witness the many camps and programs with an emphasis on these sciences taking place around the country. We found time to explore the science and math behind America's favorite pastime, and in the quest for teen ingenuity and invention, we'll take you to Google headquarters, where the search was on for the brightest idea at the Google Science Fair. One of the summer's most exciting events had to be the landing of the Mars rover. It's been a long time since anyone can remember the spontaneous eruption of pride and joy brought about by the success of this country's space program. If the United States can be proud of its medal-winning Olympians, NASA technicians are no less worthy of high praise and congratulations for gently touching down the SUV-sized rover Curiosity on the surface of Mars. There were a number of places to see the event taking place live, but few locations had the ability to put it into context, like the Gottleib Planetarium in Kansas City, Missouri.
Well, we just had a very successful Mars party here at Union Station in the Gottleib Planetarium. Got to watch the Mars rover land live streaming from the Jet Propulsion Lab in the Extreme screen, also in the planetarium.
Parachute is deployed.
I thought it was amazing.
Volunteers from the Astronomical Society of Kansas City have brought out telescopes. They're letting kids and families come and view space, stars, planets.
This is a 14.5-inch reflector telescope. It's patterned after what Sir Isaac Newton used way back when he used telescopes.
I got to look at the telescopes, and I looked through one of the telescopes, and you can see Saturn. You can actually see the ring, and if you zoom in even more, you can see the texture of the ring.
We'll look at Mars, which is not quite so spectacular because it's a smaller planet, but you can tell that they call it the red planet because of the iron oxide in the ground.
The Mars Curiosity rover, which by the way was named by a girl from Lenexa, Kansas, it's the largest rover that's ever been landed on Mars. It's about the size of a small car. The previous rovers were pretty small by comparison, and this one's it's going to search for the signs of life.
See it arrive in one piece and see the 7 minutes of terror. Well, the 7 minutes of terror is the time that it arrives at the atmosphere till it's actually on the surface of Mars and going from 18,000 miles an hour to 0.
We've got makers from here in the area who've brought out robots, all kinds of fun things to see in Science City, and of course Science City is open.
So what we hope is when kids come down, they get inspired by what they see. So we've got, a Mars flight simulator.
On the flight simulator, we had to try to land it.
This is a total blast to fly. When you're flying around, you can see the valleys, the peaks, you're flying around the Martian landscape.
It was pretty cool.
Lots of learning and connecting happening out here. It's just a great event, and we're really happy, even though we've stayed up so late, to have a great time.
Now, just because it's summertime doesn't mean your brain has to book a vacation. We found plenty of summer programs across the country that are designed to engage students in the exploration of the sciences, and while it can be challenging, I promise you, we found no sign of homework or final exams. Now that would be summer school. Middle school students huddled around former astronaut Bernard Harris at the City College of New York to learn more about space suit technology. These students constructed their own suits and got the chance to test them out with the impact tester that mimics the extreme elements in space.
Really love discussing the universe, so I really want to be a cosmologist, somebody who discusses the fate of the universe.
Just north of New York City in Westchester County, teens got the chance to create their own computer programs, record movies using digital video game software, and build their own animated characters. One of the biggest benefits is that the students are learning from others their age, and many of the camp instructors are former campers.
It's really fun. I really like the people. They're all really nice and welcoming. They teach you one-on-one, and it's very friendly, and you feel comfortable coming and talking to them.
And moving north, the learning continues in Rochester, New York, as middle school students learn the basics of robot building. they got the chance to build, program, and test out their robots.
It's not so just put it together and just press a button. You have a lot more stuff to do on the computer. So it's kind of complicated after, but we're learning.
And for students in Central Texas, it was creativity and computer science combined. Our Chia Saito joins a group of middle schoolers who are putting their minds to the test, coming up with video game ideas and then creating them.
12-year-olds like Dominic Mendias are used to playing them.
I knew it involved computers and a lot of drawing.
What do you have to do? You have to collect the little coins.
But now middle school students like him,
and that moves you to the next level,
know a little bit more about what it takes to make them.
It allows them to get their creative juices flowing and kind of realize they can come up with a game idea and make something that might, somebody else might actually pay to play.
During this summer camp at Texas State Technical College in Waco, students had a chance to create their own video games.
Games that you move around with the keyboard, where you have to make it through a maze before the enemies get to you.
All of those things are like extra coins and stuff that earn you points.
An introduction using basic software to learn how the design and development process works.
It's really neat to see how far they can go and they realize, hey, I can make this do that. And they're really intelligent and they can pick up on it really quick because it's something they're interested in.
A process that's not all about having fun in games, with math playing an important role in making sure the games function correctly.
I'm hoping, it'll push them to pay attention in math and really enjoy math.
Math skills that will add up big for Dominic one day, who hopes to be a civil engineer. But for now,
I think I'm going to try making some and playing them and showing them to my friends and seeing if they can beat them.
Knowledge from creating a virtual world that can be applied to the real world. For It Ain't Rocket Science, I'm Chia Saito.
To find hands-on math and science learning opportunities in your community, visit connectamillionminds.com/connectory. Now, when you think of the study of math and science, you're most often probably thinking of a laboratory setting, but actually, many discoveries take place in nature. Scientists can spend their lives in the wild, discovering as much about humans as the animals they observe. One such scientist is Jane Goodall, whose work with chimpanzees has left a great number of people scratching their heads over just how similar we are to that swinging tree mammal. Our Shazia Khan has the story.
Jane Goodall spent her life studying chimpanzees, man's closest living relative in the African jungles of what is now Tanzania. She says Tarzan and his primate friends were an early inspiration for her.
I wanted to study animals since I was a tiny, tiny little girl. By the time I was 10 and reading Tarzan, not the movies, no TV then, I knew I wanted to go to Africa when I grew up, live with animals and write books about them. Eventually I got there, met Louis Leakey, and he offered me chimpanzees. I would have studied any animal. And then gradually the chimpanzees' secrets were unveiled. It was hard work, but eventually we began to learn who the Gombe chimpanzees were, all their names, their personalities, their amazing behaviors.
Goodall's most important discovery was chimpanzees' use of tools, which was initially thought to be what set humans apart from other animals. And her passion has lived on throughout her career. She says if you really want something, all it takes is passion.
You must be passionate. That's the most important thing, to find something to do in life that you feel passionate about. And it may not be science, it may be cooking. It might be working with children, it doesn't matter. Just find the thing you're passionate about and then go out there and do it.
Goodall spent decades living in the jungle and left only when the chimpanzees were in danger from deforestation and poaching. Now she spends her time raising awareness about chimpanzees and the importance of environmental consciousness with her youth program, Roots and Shoots. She says if we work together, we can change the world.
If you work with your group, you take the trash out of the stream, you go upstream, you learn how to deal with polluters, you learn how to write letters to legislators, talk to your parents and so forth, until you get that stream so clean that you can reintroduce fish that were there 30 years ago. There are kids just like us. They can clean streams too. We can clean up the world.
Coming up, it's been said football's a game of inches, but there are all kinds of metrics, math, and measurements involved in sports. And when we come back, will introduce you to a whole new side of athletics. For more information about Time Warner Cable's Connect a Million Minds, check out our website at www.connectamillionminds.com during the break.